Yo, 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 what it do, good peoples? This is your boy Michael Jayce doing another check-in. Um, First of all, I do want to thank everybody who showed me love this past weekend while I was down in Atlanta. I did check out Tariq Nasheed's lecture. It was called The Game for Women, but it was a lot of great advice that they brought for men too. So big ups and shout out to the homie, man. I even got a chance to meet him and chop up game with him a little bit. So it was definitely worth the experience, going down there and being able to take in the lifestyle. So one thing that I wanted to discuss, speaking of Atlanta, this is my next subject for tonight. It's called The Dangers of Patterns. Now, I was watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta tonight, and I noticed that Mimi has a new boyfriend. But her boyfriend does the exact same thing that her ex-boyfriend does, at least as far as occupation goes, and maybe even physical features, right? So it gets you to thinking and wondering, why would someone who was with a person in that same occupation and has a similar build be around that again? It's the dangers of patterning. See, people have a tendency to get a little comfortable with what they're used to. And she's always screaming and saying that she's been with Stevie for 15 years and they have a baby together, but you're not with him anymore. So again, what's the point in all of that? I thought he was an abusive person. I thought he mistreated you. But here you go once again, going back to the same thing, except with a new guy. The dangers of pattern, folks. Sometimes we become so routine and we get used to and accustomed to a certain lifestyle and certain people around us that we tend to forget why we failed in the first place. Does that make sense? So the reason that you saying that you were not successful is because of the people that your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend has dealt with, but yet and still you choose those same kind of people. For example, if you're a guy and you like a hood rat, but you see that hood rats don't treat you well, why get with another hood rat? All right. For women, if you're with a guy who's in and out of jail constantly, but yet and still your next boyfriend is a 3-time felon who has nothing going for himself, then why are you complaining? What's the point in that? I mean, I see no point in that. Again, people become so used to living their life the way they live, they're afraid to do something different. They're afraid to step outside of the box. And that's the dangers of going through patterns. That's the danger of having a pattern. So just want to point out a couple little things to you. Please excuse the sirens. I mean, it's real out here. So just a couple things that I want you to realize and remember. Number one, make sure that you are willing to step outside of the box, and that's physically and that's mentally. Don't be afraid to travel. There's 50 states in the United States. I'm pretty sure that you could find somebody in at least one of those states, right? I mean, and it's a little funny just to say it, but honestly, I mean, you go to a different part of the world, you go to even a different part of the United States, you're going to meet someone who has a different mind frame, a different mindset. Like, I met some of the coolest people down in Atlanta this past weekend. The trip to me was only 7 hours, but it was well worth the trip. I got my mind right. I was able to get away from, the issues and stuff that I have going on up here again. But I can't complain about the issues that I have here if I'm just willing to stay here. I was so caught up in a routine, and it became such a pattern going to work 9 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday, that I forgot that there's the rest of the world to explore. So don't be afraid to go out physically. Also change your mentality. So what that means is that you have to dare to do something different. You have to be bold. You have to take that risk. Taking that risk means that you have to step outside of your comfort zone. Yes, you love your neighborhood. Yes, you love your city. But at the end of the day, none of that stuff is going to love you back, and it's not going to pay any of your bills. So what are you to do? Go outside and explore. Do something different. Listen to something different. Read something different. Also, Build up enough confidence and self-esteem inside of you to know what you are and what you're not willing to take. Okay? Stop dealing with the same people. Stop dealing with the same routines. Be bold. Be brave. I mean, there's so much out here in this world that you don't have to take that. You don't have to take the same abuse. You don't have to take that. You don't have to tolerate that. And once people see that you're not willing to tolerate it, that's when they're going to change. Either they're going to change or you're going to change. Either one is going to be a benefit for somebody. One of the parties, right? Right? So, again, make sure that you're not falling into the same pattern. Try to do something different at least once a month. Once a month. There's 30 days in a month. You know, at least, except in February, but who cares about all that, right? So, stop going into the same routine, stop falling into the same pattern, dare to do something different, and I'm Michael Jayce. Talk to you soon. Peace.